welcome to Show Em The Dore, a podcast presented by you, me, and Sway Lee.
I don't know if they can see Sway Lee on the video.
I hope they can. You've seen him in prior videos. There's a poster on the wall next to us.
Yeah.
And it's Ray Streamer. And so Sway Lee's just looking at us. And I don't know why it has the Divide album cover by Ed Sheeran on there. It's a really confusing poster. I love it. So he's staring at me the whole time, so I thought I'd shout out Sway Lee for this episode.
Yeah, we'll add him in the...
Yeah, it was either you, me, and Sway Lee, or presented by Fetty Wap. Yeah, baby.
Okay, for sure.
That was a good idea.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Continue.
So we got a lot of stuff for you today.
Yeah, it's a packed episode.
True.
We have some big announcements.
Yeah, we got some stuff to say to you. We got basketball games to talk about.
Yep.
A little bit of track and field because we've been doing that action recently. I tossed my phone even though I was going to look on that at the stuff, so I'm going to have to awkwardly get that later. But we'll cross that bridge when we burn it. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, Willem.
So before we hop into our content, before Chris says whatever it is he's going to say, Lord knows, so we told y'all over the break, we announced, I believe it was on Christmas, that our next guest would be Vanderbilt offensive lineman Ben Cox. And we're so excited to have him on the podcast. Unfortunately, he's sick. It's not COVID and he'll be okay. But he can't be on the podcast right now.
Obviously.
So we're going to have to, for obvious reasons. So we're going to have to push back that date. So to make it up to you guys, just because we love you so much, we are getting... What?
I said dearly.
Yeah. Dearly beloved.
Our viewers.
Yes. We are getting another guest for you guys.
We have confirmed another
Yeah, we've
guest.
confirmed. We've got a time and a date scheduled for him to come by. And that'll be released not next Thursday, but the Thursday after.
Right. And so tell them who we have, Willem.
Can I get a drum roll, Chris? That was really impressive. And standing at like 5'11", wide receiver, number 7, Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson's going to be on our podcast. That's
Cam Johnson.
Be so loud.
What a man. Yeah, I probably will be.
I realized I was raising my voice, but then I was like, I got to tone it down.
Rest in peace, headphone viewers.
Yeah, if y'all using headphones, don't sue us. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we Show Em The Dore are not liable to any injuries you may sustain while listening to Chris. Usually it's me that screams.
Yeah, I'm normally the quiet one, but I felt like Cam Johnson deserves a woo. Cam Johnson is a stud of a wide receiver, and
he's a senior. He's been in the program for 4 years. Done great stuff.
You know, our two guests that we will end up having between Cam Johnson and Spencer Jones, they're kind of high profile.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you'd expect us to.
And then when Ben comes back, he started like half the year.
Yeah.
We're not getting bums.
No.
Not that there are bums on our teams, but like we're getting these guys that are
like household names.
Good.
Like, people know Cam Johnson, you know?
Yeah. Like, if you don't know who Cam Johnson is,
I'm not
have you been watching our podcast?
Study. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
One time he went on Instagram and he showed a little sketch he did of Amir Abdul-Rahman. And he was like, what do y'all think of it? Rate it. And so I went on there and I was like, 7 out of 10. Where's his beard? What's up with that? He just didn't have a beard in the drawing. And I was like, it's solid other than the fact that he did not have facial hair. And I'm like, you're missing the Amir beard. And he was like, that's good. I'm going to have to get back to you about that. And then he never
got back to us.
So maybe we'll
ask him
demand
about it on the pod.
But so coming up pretty soon, we're going to have 2 special guests.
Yeah.
I know we've got in the works trying to get other people, working our magic. You know, bribing them, threatening their mothers.
I've threatened so many moms.
Like, your mom's going to get it.
I showed up at somebody's house.
Chris is a maniac. He no longer can go within 50 feet of certain athletes.
In certain schools.
We've signed a, privacy statement saying we can't say who they are.
Yeah,
but
NDAs.
Chris just,
I'm a man.
He's wearing an ankle monitor if you can't see.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm sitting on this ankle, so I didn't want to show the ankle monitor.
Yeah, the cops are going to come.
If you hear any beeps, it's because I am definitely outside the range that I'm allowed.
This is the longest intro we've ever had. So we're going to kick it off to Christoph here for the baloncesto, if you will.
Is that basketball in Spanish?
Yeah.
Huh?
Baloncesto, if you live in España. Shout out to our Spanish listeners.
Shout out to our Spanish listeners.
We do have listeners in Germany for some reason. If you're in Germany listening to this,
It was like 80.
We love you.
It was like 82% U.S., 16% Germany, 2% France, and I'm like, hold the phone. What French guy is like, hey,
mon ami, this is the podcast.
He's listening now. He's like, hey, that's me.
We've got the Burgermeister listening to our podcast.
Burgermeister?
That's mayor in Germany.
Okay.
I thought that was
Why
like
do you
common
know
knowledge.
that?
I'm sorry. I thought that was common
German
knowledge.
history buff, apparently.
I was going to say either it's the Burgermeister listening or the Führer listening. So I feel like it's more PC
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the
to
correct
say
decision.
Burgermeister rather than that. But you forced my hand. Basketball, please.
Okay, so you know how this episode's gonna go, as it does every single episode, where we're not blitzing through like last time. We're having a special guest.
Blitzing.
We're going to talk about the games that happened this week. There are 2 men's basketball games and how many women's? Is there 1 or 2? And 2 women's.
2 as well.
So we'll have 4 games that are covered. So the guys started. They played Florida.
Florida?
They played Florida.
Just him.
Just him. 5 of him clones, actually.
That's really creepy.
Yeah, they were like,
He's
no,
not that.
Nevertheless, that's the only Florida song I know.
No way, he's got at least 3 other good ones.
I don't know him. But so we played Florida in Gainesville without their star. Did you just say that's Florida?
In case
what else?
He's a tall guy.
Nashville.
I don't know.
Because it's either going to be some other place in Florida or Nashville if it were home.
Maybe it was a neutral site game. I don't know.
You think Vandy gets neutral site games?
Fair enough.
Okay.
So they didn't have their big guy. I don't remember his name because he's very irrelevant.
His last name is Castleton, and man is a stud. But
I don't like him. He doesn't matter at all. So we're going to completely disregard him for the remainder of this episode.
I'm going to say one quick piece on Castleton because he is a stud, and you'd think that going into a game that with somebody tied with you in terms of 9th in the SEC at the present time, if they didn't have their star player,
it would make a difference.
It would make a difference. And to be honest with you,
it kind of did.
It did in the first half.
Really?
In the first half, we were down at halftime 31-28.
That's 3 points.
Very good, Willem. We've been working on his basic arithmetic. Nevertheless, what happened in this game was Scottie Pippen had like 2 fouls within the first 4 minutes of the game. And like a couple of them, in the first half, only one of them, I suppose. It was like a really weird foul. Like it was like he was standing, not looking at the play, and not looking at the play, but he was like guarding some other guy, and
off the ball.
Yeah, the guy ran into him, and like he wasn't even looking at him. They called it a block, and like he was standing still. Like it was I thought it was an offensive foul. Like immediately, even the commentators on the TV broadcast were questioning if that should have been a foul in any way.
And that affected his game because he didn't play
because
large.
Stack kept him out of the entire first half.
Yeah, with those 2 fouls.
Yeah, he played like 4 minutes in the first half. It must have been like a record low in terms of minutes for Scottie Pippen Jr. after that, because he didn't play the first half.
I want to say he had 5 minutes and 2 points at half.
I'm going to look, but he definitely didn't. I don't know if I can look at half, but I can look and see how many minutes he had total, and I can tell you that a lot of them were not in the first half. SPJ.
Good information. SP2.
Scottie Pippen played 20 minutes only.
Wow, that's
Quentin Allora Brown played 27 minutes.
Yeah, for reference.
When people like Shane, DeJoin, when him and Trey Thomas are playing more minutes than Scottie Pippen Jr., we will not win games.
I think Trey Thomas should play as many minutes as Scottie Pippen Jr. But when it's less, I think Trey Thomas needs time.
Sure, but I think if there is a person who needs the most minutes on the Vanderbilt basketball team...
I think if more than 2 players are playing, if as many, if not more...
I think him and Jordan Wright should have the most minutes.
Yeah, and if anyone's playing more than him, there's an
issue. Nevertheless, as he didn't play a lot, and then when he got in the second half, because he hadn't been playing...
He wasn't in that groove.
Yeah, and so he like bricked every single shot. Like he airballed one. And then the Florida
try not
bench
to
was
think of
like
that.
air ball, like a million times.
That was the, what's it called?
They did
Fans.
the air ball chant
For like a minute. It was kind of weird.
Yeah,
like, wow.
it was like
That's
3
kinda sad.
possessions had happened and it was still going. Like he stole the ball on defense and then they started chanting it and I was like, I guess. Anyway, but so we lost that game because in the second half, when Scottie Pippen was in, because he was so off and we were trying to facilitate our offense through Scottie Pippen because he is the best player on our team, we ended up getting outscored by like a metric ton in the second half.
It was kind of terrible.
And we lost like 62-41. Like we lost really badly.
I didn't think it would come to that because I thought, Scottie Pippen's going to play more minutes. He's going to.
We were really
touches.
hopeful at the half. We watched this whole game.
True.
And
we did.
We were really.
And we watched Psych.
That's true. We watched the third Psych movie as well.
It's good if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, and then we watched the Titans lose. Rest in peace. I'm still upset. I haven't processed it yet.
We don't want to talk about it.
I don't actually. But it was like we were going into half and we were hopeful because we knew Scottie was coming back, and if he had an ounce of his groove, I don't think that the game goes as badly, but he was missing free throws. He was missing so many shots. And so that was Florida. But we predicted us to lose. So I wasn't too upset about that, but
we would have won that bet.
But yeah, we would have won that bet. But then we went to the South Carolina game where we predicted we would win. We lost. But here's what happened. What happened in the Florida game was the polar opposite of what happened in the South Carolina game. Because in terms of player production, I don't believe in Stackhouse's ability this season to give us halftime adjustments that are like useful. Because for the past like 6 games, since the Arkansas game really, we've been up at half and then we've lost the game for most of them. Or we've been down at half but close and then we've gotten blown out in the second half. And so that's a coaching issue at that point, If your team comes out in the first half and, obviously there are times when you just can't hit a shot, but in terms of schematically getting shut down like we did in the Florida game where we scored like 19 points in the entire second half, it's not, I think at some points it's a coaching issue. And so hopefully Stack can develop that aspect of his coaching game a little bit better.
I think it's a little less than that, because things worked in the non-conference games. He made adjustments at halftime that meant things, The difference is now he's in SEC play. Now he plays these guys with real talent, And like great coaches who can make even better adjustments. So sometimes it's not Stack's making the wrong adjustments. It could be, Florida's coach has really great players and is a good coach too. So he's making better adjustments.
Well, I still think that if somebody's making better adjustments than you, that's an issue.
Yeah, but we don't have the personnel that these SEC teams have. We can't make the same adjustments as other teams.
We were matched up pretty okay with Florida. Fair, I don't. They had Derugi, who I thought was really good in terms of like Derugi.
That's a lame name.
Man's hyper athletic.
I think I would take the name Derugi. It sounds pretty cool. Thinking about
it. Nevertheless, so we got to South Carolina, and we actually were leading at the half because I think we're a better team than South Carolina. We were leading by the half by like 6. Like it was a good opportunity to build some momentum into the second half, and the same thing happened again. They had better adjustments, and they ended up winning by 9. Like there was a 15-point swing from the first half to the second half.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a considerable amount. And what happened in the first game and in the first half of the Florida game, where it really felt like everybody but Scottie Pippen was putting in and really contributing to the game and providing points and good defense. That didn't happen against South Carolina, especially in the second half. Like Pip had 24. Like I don't know how much more you can ask from your superstar, but nobody else had double-digit points except for Jordan Wright, who had 10. And I feel like if we are going to win any games, you need more than just Pip and Jordan Wright barely in double digits.
Yeah.
And so
it's the same thing we've been saying.
Yeah, it's inconsistencies. It's, I don't think, very good coaching. I'm not going to sit here and say I would be able to explain coaching issues in football like in basketball as well as I do in football. But I feel like at some point, consistently losing in the second half, if it were to restart the game, is a coaching issue, because you obviously showed that you can match up in the first half. So it's not, in my opinion, personnel. It's strictly adjustments from coaching during the half. But we'll see how games go in the future. I know that we are resuming SEC play, but I don't necessarily know it's getting any easier. We still haven't played. We're gonna have to play Tennessee again. We haven't played teams like LSU or Alabama yet. Like we have an Auburn. Like we have a lot. We got
another Kentucky game, I think.
Yeah, we have another Kentucky. We have a lot of really, really, like we have ranked games on the schedule, not just quad 1 games. And I'm not entirely certain how those are going to fare for us and making them competitive.
Yeah. I'd think it's more of a personnel thing than you, but, I mean,
I surely think that if we had the personnel of somebody like Kentucky, we'd win more games.
I think if
we had that's what you mean.
Florida's a real team.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt hasn't been viewed as a real team. I think the fact of the matter is we don't have those guys that even Florida has. And so Florida can make adjustments because they have those guys.
I mean, I don't know a player on Florida's team that played when we played them that wasn't at least semi-matched up with a Vandy player, though. Like, they had Tyrese Appleby. I obviously take Pip over Tyrese Appleby.
Applebee's?
I can't name you another player on their team other than DeRougie. And because Castleton was
That's because we don't know their team well.
Yeah, but I don't feel like I can definitively... I could name you Kentucky players. I could name you Auburn players that are distinctly, prospects that make them a much, much better team.
Yeah. If we did this podcast for Florida, how many Vanderbilt guys can you name? Maybe one.
You'd be able to name one.
Maybe two. Scottie Pippen, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing looking the other way. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. They should be evenly matched, and then it's a coaching issue in my mind. If you don't have those definitively better players, which I don't really believe Florida has, then I think that loss or win falls on coaching and preparedness. Along with, of course, some luck. If it's a close game, I wouldn't be calling it coaching. It's the fact that we got blown out entirely in the second half, when I don't really believe that the personnel matchups should have us being blown out in the second half.
Mm.
But yeah, so that's basketball. Not the best outlook in terms of men's basketball, but
I think it's still a build. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last year we had 2 wins.
Yeah, so we're distinctly getting better.
Yeah, we're not going down. We're not even stagnant at this point.
What I'm excited for is in a few episodes we start baseball.
True, and that's where we'll be like, hey, we actually won this week. Instead of being like, we've lost 5.
We've lost 8 games.
So the season is over.
So the season is over.
So the game's not finished yet. So
the season is over.
That's hilarious.
So now we have women's basketball with Willem, which is why he actually does women's basketball. It's the W.
It's the alliteration. Yeah. Women's basketball.
And it's the alliteration with mine, too. It's men's basketball with Christopher.
Oh, my God.
It's the Mr.
Christopher just likes talking about men, is what it is.
Yeah, there's actually a silent M at the start of my name.
Yeah, if you hadn't actually known, fun fact.
It's Christopher.
Christopher.
There's actually an apostrophe,
you just pronounce the God's comma.
Yeah, it's the God's comma.
You just pronounce it as a C. It's a traditional Arab name. If you knew about it. If you knew, you just got to be in the know.
So
my computer's at 12%, so we got to get through this.
You have 2 games.
Ardelan said you have cake.
Y'all playing patty cake? Oh, he said that when we were doing the drum roll. Our technical producer asked if we were playing patty cake.
I think that should be a segment.
Patty cake with Willem and Christopher.
It's where, words.
So women's basketball.
Yeah, so it's not that great either. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Did we win a game?
No. So we played Missouri.
Missouri?
Missouri. Yeah.
That's me after looking at all our scores.
My parents had a employee at their restaurant that was from Missouri, and she said they called it Misery because it's Missouri. Just as a state. So, like, if we're losing to Missouri, things are going poorly.
Things are not going well.
So here's the thing. It was 66-52.
It's 14 points.
Yeah, it was a tough loss. We shot really poorly. Like, our percentages, if I look them up, were just bad. So we shot 40% from the field and 29% from three.
That's the issue.
46% from the line.
46% from the free throw line?
6 for 13.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was not good.
Excuse my language, I'm sorry.
Nah, you ain't excused. What I'm thinking about in this game is Ayanna Moore, which, you know, is probably one of the first things that comes to mind when you talk about women's basketball.
Other than Cheeseman.
Up and coming.
Yeah.
True. That's just us. That's just because we're weird. That's because we think, oh, cheese, funny. Which is exactly how it goes through my cheese.
Lazang.
Lazang.
But,
Garfield, you fat cat. Why are you so fat? Lazang. Yeah, I apologize because this is interesting. So Ayanna Moore, 22 minutes, which is a relative low.
A relative minimum?
A relative minimum, using calculus terms. Because I know calculus, apparently. What? I took survey, and it was terrible. So, in 22 minutes, she shot 5 shots, made 2 of them. She missed 1 free throw. She had 2 rebounds, a steal, 4 turnovers, and 5 fouls.
Kind of a bum. She fouled out in 20 minutes?
For 5 points.
Not her best outing.
What I'm thinking is, like, why'd she only shoot 5 shots?
Because she was fouling out the entire time.
She's one of our best players. You know what I mean? In 22 minutes, you would have thought she'd have done better. Like, Brene Alexander played 38 minutes. She shot 8 for 20, which is low.
Yeah, that's not the best.
Like, she kept taking those shots. If Ayanna Moore took 20 shots, she couldn't have before she fouled out. But if she had taken 20 shots, she would have put up more than 5 points.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, recently it's kind of been like, oh, feed Ayanna. You know, have her playing 30-plus minutes a game. Have her putting up 15 to 20 shots a game. And now it's like, wow, she just shot 5 times. It's a little inconsistent. It's weird in my opinion.
This wasn't a great game versus Missouri.
Yeah, versus Missouri. Bella LaChance played 33 minutes that game.
Dub.
That's a season high, I think.
That's why we lost.
She put up 4 points.
33 minutes and 4 points?
Well, do you know what? Our leading scorer had 19. That's Brene, but she shot abysmally. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's 40%.
That's not great. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as it looked. Thinking about it again, yeah, you're right.
And I'd still prefer.
She shot 1 for 4 from the line, 2 for 4 from the 3-point line, which is cool. 19. Our second leading scorer had 9, and then 5, then 4, then 7. Sasha Washington getting in quality minutes, shooting well. 7 points, sweet. Okay. So, like, you know, just an interesting game against a team that's not the best ever, but they're not bad. They're 14-5, 3-3 in the SEC. Or they were at the time.
What are we?
Now they're like 4. We right now are 10-10. Want a 5-game skid to spoil the next game. So moving on from that, we went on to play the number 1 team in the nation.
Okay.
Which is South Carolina. And, you know, they have some really great players, great coaching. You know, what more can you say? My exact notes are, number 1 team in the nation, it is what it is. We shot so badly, lol. It was a rough game. They beat us in every statistical category. And that is what I've written down. So if I look back at this game, I'll tell you more. So,
what was the score, Willem?
It was 85-30.
Did you say 85-30?
I told you about this last night, and you were equally as shocked.
Yeah, because I thought you said it was closer to double their points. That's almost triple.
We had... Let me break down this scoring for you.
Was that in Columbia or was that in Memorial? I hope that was in Columbia. Nobody deserves to see that.
I believe it was in Carolina. So, let me break down this for you. First quarter, we scored 8 points. Second quarter, we scored 7 points.
Woo!
Third quarter, we scored 8 points. Fourth quarter, we scored 7 points. They scored
How
19, 23, 18, 25. We didn't break double digits. We didn't break double digits in a quarter. But against the #1 team in the nation,
I don't care.
in women's basketball,
At some point,
that's just what happens, bro.
You just gotta start cherry picking.
That's just what happens, bro. That's like, well, it was a good game. Like, if I played, any reasonable
imagine that
player,
locker room talk. It's like, all right, guys, we lost by almost 60 points. Y'all are trash.
that stuff was not my fault. To reference
God.
that same skit
Yeah,
again.
this
We've
is
done this before.
This is definitely what Doc Rivers felt like in the NBA
It
Finals.
must have been. But you know what? Doc Rivers, the difference there between the Clippers, who absolutely failed and their coach was disappointed, and us who didn't well, they had so much talent.
Yeah.
That was the biggest waste of talent I've seen besides this year's Lakers in NBA history.
Well, but then hold on real quick. How do you talk about this game as a coach?
So you go into this locker room.
You can't like tear them to shreds.
And you're like,
you can't be like, y'all are so disappointing, all this stuff. Like,
imagine
they just lost by 55.
Imagine your coach Ralph, who just came from Connecticut.
Where y'all haven't lost a game in years.
Yeah, besides this year, they're kind of not doing great because Paige is hurt, which kind of sucks, man.
Is she really?
Yeah, she tore ACL, I think.
Pain.
Which absolutely sucks because she's great. I think she's changing basketball. But that's besides the point. Not Vanderbilt, so we don't care. So imagine you're her, Coach Ralph, coming from this team who's maybe had 5 losses in her
tenure,
in her years as assistant coach, and now she's like,
I just lost by 55 points
to South Carolina,
but like
at Vanderbilt University. Like, that must be, I don't even know how to begin thinking about that. Like, on our walks home from losing like 2 to 21, that's what that makes me think of. I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, we were. Those were some bad days.
I cried. Actually, it was tough, man.
One of the first times, yeah.
Yeah, no, the second time too.
You could not shoot that day.
Well, the issue is I played basketball for maybe an hour the entire week, and 45 minutes of that hour was during the game. Let me tell you, when I actually practice, I'm a lot better.
I bet.
Yeah.
I've heard practice makes perfect.
I've heard practice makes you not miss like a good 15 shots a game.
Yeah.
But do you know what? Nobody told that evidently to our team. Because let me tell you, you want to guess our field goal percentage that game?
12%.
Oh, you underestimate our power. It was 20. We made one every 5 shots. From the line, 35%.
How do you shoot 35% from the free throw line?
You get bullied in the paint. That's where a lot of our scoring comes from.
Free throw line.
Free throw line, 50%.
You said free throw the first time, not in the paint.
Never mind. I don't even know what you're saying.
Can you imagine shoot 35% from the free throw line?
No, that was a 3-point line. I just said it wrong like 3 times. I apologize.
Yeah.
Let me start over. 20% from the field, 35% from the 3-point line.
We shot better from the 3-point line.
50% from the free throw line.
Okay, I still think you got to shoot better than 50% from the.
Yeah, that's just typically how basketball works, but not when you play the #1 team in America. They've lost 1 game this year. I don't even know who it's to. I'm going to be honest with you, man. They're one of the best teams I've ever seen.
I'll have to watch. I have not watched
I think UConn's team could be better, but they didn't win the championship last year somehow. I had them in my bracket winning, and I was deeply disappointed.
Dang. Well,
UConn. So it was really bad.
It was bad.
Yeah, like it's just tough, bro.
It was a bad week in Vanderbilt Sports.
But do you know what?
What?
There's hope because it's still a good year. We're 10-10.
That's even.
That's 500.
Let's you flip a coin if we win.
Scrape out another few wins, maybe 5, we could go 500 on the year. And I think that'll be a massive W. We won't be bottom of the SEC anymore. We have a great coach who will be entering next year, her second year. We'll have a good young player in Ayana Moore, not to mention Cheeseman, who hopefully will get minutes because she didn't play.
Did she play against South Carolina?
She did. She played 3 minutes. She got an offensive rebound, and she missed a shot. Okay. But do you know what? It did not matter.
But do you have anything for track and field?
Hold on, I'm not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cut me off. I don't cut you off when you're doing basketball.
I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
So, you know, it's okay. We may be on a 5-game skid, but it doesn't really matter. We're playing great teams. South Carolina,
great team.
I don't know if there's a team in the nation that could beat them. They're the Gonzaga of women's basketball.
Except Gonzaga has 2 losses.
A. B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Never mind. I said A, and then went with it because I didn't know how to transition back to. Anyways, so it's been a good year. We're on the up and up. I still think it's a build. You know what I mean? If we're doing this in 5 years, we may have a problem. We may need to reconsider coaching. I think in the Jerry Stackhouse situation, I say if this keeps happening for another 2 years, completely unrelated to what I was saying. But I think if we're doing the same thing in 2 years, you got to reconsider your coaching. I love Stack. I think he's a great coach. I think he's really good. I think it'll be more of a test in a year or two when we get more top 100 recruits, when we get more 4-star, 5-star guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think now's not the time to think about it. This women's basketball, now's not the time to think about it. Those 10 losses are so many less losses than we had last year.
You can't judge a coach on their first season. The only reason I'm judging Stack is because it's in his third.
Yeah, exactly. I think that 5 season is how much it's a 5-year plan.
You have to
Stalin had it right.
All right.
He has 2 more years to prove himself, or he will be sent to the gulag.
the gulag. We're sending him to Siberia.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
So one last thing to say in terms of women's basketball, Jordan Cambridge. I didn't know this until they posted about it, which shame on me for not knowing. But do you know what? Number 4 in the nation in steals nationally. She's kind of a unit. They've talked to her. They've interviewed her multiple times about defense. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's fairly consistent. She's on the Defensive Player of the Year watch list.
Dang.
Yeah. From Vanderbilt?
For a team
when was the last time we had one of those Defensive Player of the Year watch list people?
I have no idea.
You know who's on the men's Defensive Player of the Year watch list?
Is it
Chet Holmgren. From Gonzaga University.
Oh, thank God. I mean,
shamelessly plug my program.
He's only like 7'6".
True, man. He averages more blocks than Baylor as a team.
Well, it's because he's, again, 9'8".
Yeah, true. But Jordan Cambridge, 4th in the nation in steals, Naismith Defensive Player of the Year. She's simply a unit. She gets it done. Do you know what I mean? And she's a leader. She's a senior this year. She's the leader of our team.
Yep.
And I think what she does with our defense, fostering that defensive mindset and the defense that we go after. Like most of these games, if you've noticed, we might lose, but we lose like 60-40. We lose like 70-50. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now you
They're
just gotta
not getting, like, it's an anomaly to have those like 85-point games, like the South Carolina game. That's an incredible offense. I'm kind of surprised they didn't reach 90. You know what I mean? So the defense of our team, very nice. And I think a lot of it is, the new coach, but I think a lot of it's Jordan Cambridge. So shout out to her.
Shout out Jordan Cambridge.
Yeah, let's go.
Get
on the podcast if you'd like, because we'd love to talk to you.
We do want to have more women athletes on the pod.
Because currently we have a grand total of 0 on here so far.
In fairness, when we have a grand
total. Compared to our
total,
one dude.
Yeah.
But we're going to be...
we're aiming for equality here, so...
We're trying to... Yeah, we'll be DMing you. So,
We should, actually.
Yeah, we'll DM her. We'll DM Ayana, probably. We'll DM...
Let's start with Jordan Cambridge, and then we'll see.
True, because she's a unit.
Okay. So...
I think that's all I got to say for that. I got to go grab my phone that I threw so I can look up the track things.
What do you mean the track things?
We had a really good, like a weirdly good couple of meets. We've had 2 meets.
Okay.
And we broke records, like quite a few, like a weird amount to me.
Did we win the meets? Do you win meets? You win events but do you win overall meets?
Yeah, you can. I don't know if we did. I know they were home meets. We hosted them, so it would be cool if we won. But let me see. Vanderbilt track. I had them literally just pulled up a minute ago. Where are they? That's not him. I apologize for this. Dang it, not Nathan Augustine. I don't want to look at him.
You want to search it up there, G?
Yeah, I will. I thought I had it right there.
All right, hold on. Scrolling through the index.
So here we go, boys. Hey, dude, our ranking for women's indoor as a team is number 22 in the nation.
Oh, so
number 22. We're ranked.
Ranked.
That is the second program, other than maybe bowling.
We had our we were preseason ranked like number 6 or something in baseball.
Number 2.
We're number 2.
Baseball America.
We're number.
Who do you think we are? We're pros. Yeah, we're number 2.
Well, yeah, I thought
we've been ranked number 2 by Baseball America, and I believe number 2 by couple of ones maybe number 1 in one poll, but like, you know.
Who's number 1?
I don't know.
It's not Arkansas.
I couldn't imagine.
I think it's LSU.
No way.
LSU has a good team and they're all healthy.
Les Miles?
Miles hasn't been their coach in so long.
And he's not. Yeah, I'm like, okay. So our women's 4x4 team, or 4x400 team, is 10th all time in school history. So they reached that mark, which is really cool. Taya Shelby, 4th all time program record in school history, and it doesn't say the 800 meter. It's up in the corner, hidden by that thing. So I felt like a fool because I was like, it doesn't say. So in the 800, 4th in school history, 2nd in school history in the 60 meter for Madison Fuller. So we're getting up there. 8th in school history for the mile by Caroline Eck. Carolyn Eck? Caroline? Are they spelled different?
I don't think so.
Man, I don't know. 4th in the NCAA program record in the mile for Grace Jensen. And program record for the 200 meter. Haley Bishop ran the 200 meter in 23.53 seconds.
Wow.
That's so fast. Mm-hmm. That's insane.
You're almost going you're almost going 20 meters a second.
That's so fast.
That's not right.
No, your math is horrible.
10 meters. You're almost going 10 meters a second.
Just under.
A little under.
Look at this.
Okay, but
she's moving so fast.
Listen, 10 meters a second. That's 30 feet. Do you understand? You get what? Hold on.
Yeah, her 40 time, probably like 4 flat. It's insane. Chris is doing his.
She's going 0.87 of a meter per second through the entire thing.
Times.
She's going. Wait.
What did you just multiply that by?
I did it by 3 to get feet. Hold on a second. It's a 200 meter.
We're Peabody majors, if you haven't noticed. He's HOD, which is why he struggles with math.
She's going like 26 feet per second.
Yes, that's actually insane.
Do you know how much 20 feet is?
That's the program record. That's number 1. Nobody's ever.
Oh my God, that's a lot.
Ever done that for Vanderbilt.
Okay.
That's insane. Pentathlon, which I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how pentathlon works. She scored 3,555 points.
There's a points?
I don't know how. Like, I used to be, like, invested in track, and, like, I wanted to run track, and all my friends did. So I feel like I know a little bit about it, but I don't even know how scoring works in the pentathlon. Oh, dude, she's, like, doing the high jump.
Interesting.
Super cool.
Anyway.
That's number 6 in program history. So, I think I read an article today, and it was, like, we've had more record breakers this year. We've had more people in the record books this year than we've ever had.
That's cool.
I think that's
like first 2 meets.
Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. In 2 meets, yeah.
Right now.
Quote Willem. So if we're looking more, Haley Bishop, the school record in 60 meters and 300 meters. This graphic is moving. But she holds our program record in the 60 meter and the 300 meter.
Nice.
Haley Bishop, faster than
lightning,
like literally the speed of sound. If I were to say, "Hey," and she's running away, it would take a while for her to hear it.
Haley
she's
the
faster
light
than
Bishop.
sound. Haley, the speed of sound Bishop. And then Divine Oladipo set a school record for shot put.
Victor.
I wouldn't imagine, but sure. So shot put. Divine Oladipo, number 1 nationally. No one threw that ball as far as her. No one. 58 feet. Nope, 17 meters. So yeah, 17.92 meters.
That's a lot of meters.
Do you know how heavy a shot put thing is?
No.
It's so heavy.
How heavy
It's weird. It's like weirdly heavy. It's so hard. Like you gotta like do the whole 9 yards to like
spin,
and then like toss it. It's actually absurd. Can't believe it. That's an anomaly. Number 1 nationally. Nobody this year has done it. And then top 5 nationally for Haley Bishop in her record-breaking 60 meter. Top 5 nationally. There are less than 5 into the entire nation of Division I
college athletes.
Exactly. It's absolutely nuts. So like.
Oh, we have a really good track team.
Yeah, shout out to All of them.
Yeah. But
all of them that I just named. And, like, that's so cool. We don't know.
I'm not fast, so
much.
I can't imagine.
We don't know that much about
speed,
these sports like that. But we're going to obviously, like,
keep everybody updated, yeah.
Trying to, grow better ourselves and knowing that kind of stuff so we can keep you guys updated because we have phenomenal athletes there. And I feel like they don't get
the credit they deserve.
As, maybe our 10-10 women's basketball team or our, just lost 4 straight men's basketball team. You know what I mean?
Or won 2 games football team.
Or our bowling team.
Big man.
Our bowling team's really good though.
Yeah.
Lacrosse starts in, I think, 17 days.
Cool.
Which I don't know. I don't even begin to understand how lacrosse works.
Lacrosse is
you toss the ball. But it's a net, dude. That's insane.
I'm aware.
That's so cool.
Okay.
If somebody wants to teach me how lacrosse works, I'd appreciate that.
But
so we're gonna, be covering these other sports that don't get as much play because we
care about them.
Really talented people in our programs that we feel like deserve so much recognition and love. So, like, shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
Anything else to say, Chris? Because we're gonna wrap it up, man.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I want to go.
I'm also very hungry.
Eat anything.
Okay. No, I think that's it. We're very excited to have Cam Johnson on in a couple weeks.
Thanks, Cam.
He's gonna be a cool dude. It's gonna be fun.
He's super sick. We might ask him about a gorilla.
Maybe he'll definitely sign the jersey though, which will be sick.
Oh yeah, man. We will up our jersey signing count by a lot.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys coming on and listening to our ramblings,
hearing us. Yes.
But with that being said, we'll see you guys next week. So, all right, peace, guys.
Yeah, anchor down, boys.